Hey guys! With the Clash Mini Beta right around the corner, I thought I would put together a guide to teach you everything there is to know about minis before the game actually releases. And with 20 minis to collect, and multiple star levels for every single character in the game, this guide will simplify all of that for you, and you'll be a mini master in no time. Our first mini is the Barbarian. At base level, the Barbarian deals 1 damage against its opponent. It also has an attack range of 1 tile. By default, the Barbarian has a passive ability called Rage. This means each attack increases the attack speed. This stacks up to 10 times. At star level 1, the Rage passive can infinitely scale. That unattended Barbarian will do a lot of damage. At star level 2, those attacks now have a chance to do 2 times damage. Now that's something you don't want to leave on the board. At star level 3, the Barbarian unlocks its Boast ability. This means upon defeating an enemy, the Barbarian will gain +1 attack for 8 seconds. At just 2 elixir, the Barbarian gives a lot to your team. If you're looking for a middle tier, all-round unit, this is your pick. Now let's look at the Archer. The Archer is one of the most basic long-range units. She works by attacking the unit the furthest from her. When that unit is defeated, she attacks the next furthest unit. At star level 1, she gains the ability to shoot 2 arrows at once. This essentially doubles her damage and makes her so much more useful. By leveling the Archer to 2 stars, it means whenever she defeats an enemy, she gets +1 attack for a number of seconds. And once she reaches level 3, when the battle starts, she gets haste for 8 seconds. This means her first attacks during that 8-second window will be fired twice as fast. The Spear Goblin starts a round by throwing his big spear down the middle of the board. When that spear is thrown, the mini will start to attack normally. Whilst the big spear can reach the end of the board, the main attacks can reach up to a max of 4 tiles. The Spear Goblin's main attacks do 1 damage against its opponent. Now by default, the big spear does 4 damage. But as soon as you upgrade the mini to star level 1, it gains +3 damage to that spear, for a total of 7 damage. Once the Spear Goblin reaches level 3, on impact of the big spear, the enemy mini will be stunned for a number of seconds. I'm telling you right now, the Spear Goblin will be a must pick in all of my decks. The Healing Ranger is Clash Mini's first exclusive unit. It's both a long range healer and attacker at the same time. She attacks with minimal damage, but her healing bolts pack an insane punch. At star level 1, the mini's healing potential is increased to 6 health points. At this level, she can only heal 1 unit at a time, but as soon as she levels up to star level 2, that whole mechanic changes. Once her super ability is ready, all friendly minis up to a max of 3 will be healed by 6 health points. We can see from the first charge of the mini super that both minis are exactly the same. The level 3 star upgrade gives the Healing Ranger the ability to give its friendly units haste. That means every attack and heal after the first super will arrive at a faster rate. The Wizard is a long range splash damage unit. His fireballs land in a plus-shaped formation. This means if the enemies are lined up correctly, you can shoot up to 5 units at once. At star level 2, the Wizard's fireball is now bigger and does tick damage. A key thing to note is the Wizard can shoot up to 3 tiles. At star level 3, the Wizard's attacks can block any healing from occurring on those enemies. This is such a powerful counter to the Healing Ranger. You can already see how useful this ability will be in battle. The Mini P.E.K.K.A is a sword-wielding, heavy-hitting battle tank. Just looking at the base level of every mini in the game, the Mini P.E.K.K.A hits the hardest. And for only a cost of 3 elixir, I don't see anyone not bringing this mini. Just imagine getting your Mini P.E.K.K.A onto their main tank. At star level 1, the Mini P.E.K.K.A unlocks its Shining Blade ability. This means for every attack, the Mini P.E.K.K.A has a chance to land double damage. He may only have an attack range of 1 tile, but for everything you get out of him, it's definitely worth it. Now, let's talk about our shovel-wielding friend, the Miner. I think the premise of the character is actually really unique, but without being leveled up, I don't think he has the damage capability needed to threaten the enemy. Although you have to admit, the mechanic of being able to burrow through the ground, pop up behind the enemy is actually pretty cool. I do think when the game actually releases, we'll get a better understanding of how to properly use this character, as well as many other characters in the game. The Knight is one of the most basic and easiest to understand characters in the entire game. By receiving and inflicting damage, the mini is able to charge its super and pop its defensive shield. Because the mini's job is to tank and soak damage, positioning him in the center of the board is the best way to defend your lower health units. At a cost of just 3 elixir, you don't even need to level up the Knight for it to bring value to your team. And because of this, I think you'll see the Knight in a lot of decks. The Guard is a 2 elixir mini that functions very similar to the Knight. Again, inflicting and receiving damage will charge the Guard's super. When the super pops, the Guard will gain a shield equivalent to its original health. When the shield is depleted, the Guard will go back to its normal health. Now, because the Guard is weaker than the Knight, positioning will be all the more important. If you make the Guard match up with something like the mini P.E.K.K.A, the Guard won't have enough time to charge its super and gain its shield. At that point, you're just wasting 2 elixir. And in a game where a troop or an extra elixir could be the difference between winning or losing a match, you can't be making this mistake. It's finally time to talk about the most busted troop in the Clash Mini universe, the Electro Wizard. It is true that the Electro Wizard does come with a hefty price point, but as I'm about to show you, every single level is definitely worth the elixir. A troop like the E-Wiz is something we would class as a glass cannon. Someone who can deal insane amounts of damage, but can't take much in return. But as you can see in these clips, it just doesn't even matter. If you pair the E-Wiz up with a bunch of tanks, it'll give plenty of time for him to whittle down those enemies. He may only be able to shoot 1 unit at once with his main attack, but if you can charge up that super, he can target 4 units at once for a total of 5 damage each on his first super. Then every following super does 3 damage to 4 units. If you think it's worth to invest all of that elixir, you can upgrade him to level 3 where he can do 5 damage every super. As of the 25th of October, the game is not released into beta yet. That means all the footage you've seen today is purely from sneak peeks released by Clash Mini themselves. Now because of that, not every single mini can be covered in depth today. But here are some older clips to give you a taste of what's to come, so buckle in and stay focused. The Ice Wizard is a long-range support unit. He throws ice shards that slows down the enemy's movement and attack speed. Even from this short clip, we can see the axe-wielding Lumberjack has a fast attack and movement speed. An early bowler, magic archer, and swordsman. Minis like the Mega Knight or the Giant Skeleton. A splash damage axe spinning Valkyrie. And a close-up of the magic archer. We've gone over a lot of information in today's video, so don't feel discouraged if you have to go back and rewatch something. This is seriously just the tip of the iceberg when it comes down to what's in store for the future of Clash Mini. A full disclaimer to everybody, this video has taken me 3 weeks to make. It would mean the world to me if you guys could like this video and share it with your friends. And follow me on all my social medias, links are in the description. I'll see you many people in a couple of weeks.